So what's the best way to raise money if you're almost out of runway? Well, let me tell you, there's really only one way to do it, but I'll walk you through kind of my thought process. The way is, don't get there. And what do I mean by that? Plan ahead. If you're really starting to raise money, and let's say you only have 1 month left, unless a bolt of lightning hits you and your company, you're going to be out of business. You really need to be thinking 6 months ahead, ideally 12 months ahead of when you think you're going to run out of money. That's when you start raising money, not a month or 2 months before, because it takes a lot of time to raise money. You've got to build relationships, you've got to develop a pitch, you've got to get out there. And guess what? If you're at the end, investors will smell blood. And if you're at the end of your rope, you're not going to get a great deal. It's not going to be easy to do. So what do? First things first. This is why you need a plan. Anybody who is resistant to developing a business plan, this is the case study for why you need one. Develop your plan. Get it done. It doesn't need to be super complex, but you do need to know, in a worst case sense, if revenue doesn't go the way that you expect it to go, when are you going to run out of money? How quickly is that going to be? You may need to lay some people off. That sucks. But it's all about survival at this point. And if you see the end coming quicker than you thought, then you know what? You've got to do what you have to do to keep the business alive. That's just the way it is. That's the way that you have to be as a CEO. There's a little bit of ruthlessness in this, but that's what you need to do. So if you are at the end, and let's say not even at the end so much, but let's say that things are moving towards the end and you can see it in your 6 months, 8 months ahead of time. You want to develop a list of who you need to get to, have your pitch ready, and start going out there. But also think about non-traditional sources of money. Let me give you an example of this. When we were raising our last round of funding, it was a very challenging environment for the type of company I was building. Investors, especially venture capitalists in the Silicon Valley, just weren't putting money into that type of company. So what did we do? We went outside of the Silicon Valley. We started looking at non-traditional sources of capital, which included family offices, for example. Those are wealthy individuals. We looked at companies in our industry who might be interested in investing in us as possible investors. And those relationships take time. And eventually one of those companies did end up investing in us. We looked at distributors who had lots of money, who were working with us already as possible investors too. You just have to be creative in your approach, but you have to develop those relationships early, because if you're at the end and you start reaching out and nobody knows that you're looking for money, it's going to be very difficult to find that money if you've only got a few weeks to go. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. Have a great day.